Fowl, Chapter 7, Part 3. You're such a charmer, Julius. What's the matter? Are you jealous because I'm succeeding where you failed? Root's foul swearing was drowned out by Foley. Okay, I've got it. Simple video network, not even digital. I'm going to broadcast a loop at the last 10 seconds to every camera through our dishes. That should give you a few minutes. Mulch shuffled uncomfortably. How long will that take? I'm a bit exposed here, you know. It's already started, replied Foley, so get moving. Are you sure? Of course I'm sure. Elementary electronics. I've been messing with human surveillance since kindergarten. You'll just have to trust me. I'd rather trust a bunch of humans not to hunt a species to extinction than trust an LEP consultant, thought Mulch. But aloud he said, Okay, I'm away. Over and out. He sneaked down the hall. Even his hands were sneaky, patting the air as if he could somehow make himself lighter. Whatever that centaur did must have worked, because there was no agitated mud people racing down the stairs, waving primitive gunpowder weapons. Stairs, stairs. Mulch had a thing for stairs. They were like pre-dug shafts. He found that inevitably the best booty lay at their summit. And what a stairway! Stained oak with intricate carvings generally associated with either the 18th century or the obscenely rich. Mulch rubbed his finger along an ornate banister. In this case, probably both. Still no time to moon about. Stairways did not tend to remain deserted for long, especially during a siege. Who could tell how many bloodthirsty troopers waited behind each door, eager for a fairy head to add to their stuffed trophy wall? Mulch climbed carefully, taking nothing for granted. Even solid oak creaked. He stuck to the borders, avoiding the carpet inlay. The dwarf knew from conviction number 8 how easy it was to conceal a pressure pad beneath the deep shag of some antique weave. He reached the landing with his head still attached to his shoulders. But there was another problem quite literally brewing. Dwarf digestion, due to its accelerated rate, can be quite explosive. The loosely packed soil on the Fowl estate was very well aerated, and a lot of that air had entered Mulch's tubes along with the soil and minerals. Now the air wanted to get out. Dwarf etiquette dictated that gas be passed while still in the tunnel, but Mulch didn't have time for manners. Now he regretted not taking a moment to get rid of the gas while he was in the cellar. The problem with dwarf gas was that it couldn't go up, only down. Imagine, if you will, the catastrophic effects of burping while digesting a mouthful of clay. Total system backup. Not a pretty sight. Thus, dwarf anatomy ensured that all gas was passed below, actually aiding in the expulsion of unwanted clay. Mulch wrapped his arms around his stomach. He'd better get out of the open. A blowout on a landing like this could take out the windows. He shuffled along the corridor, skipping through the first doorway he encountered. More cameras. Quite a lot of them, in fact. Mulch studied the lenses sweep. 4 were surveying the general floor space, but another 3 were fixed. Foley, you there? Whispered the dwarf. No, the typical sarcastic reply. I have much better things to do than worry about the collapse of civilization as we know it. Yes, thank you. Don't let my life being in danger interrupt your merriment. I'll try not to. I have a challenge for you. Foley was instantly interested. Really? Go on. Mulch pointed his gaze at the recessed cameras, half hidden in the swirling architrave. I need to know where those 3 cameras are pointing exactly. Foley laughed. That's not a challenge. Those old video systems emit faint ion beams. Invisible to the naked eye, of course, but not with your iris cam. The hardware in Mulch's eyes flickered and sparked. Ow! Sorry, small charge. You could have warned me. I'll give you a big kiss later, you baby. I thought dwarfs were tough. We are tough. I'll show you just how tough when I get back. Root's voice interrupted the posturing. You won't be showing anyone anything, convict, except perhaps where the toilet is in your cell. Now, what do you see? Mulch looked at the room again through his ion-sensitive eye. Each camera was emitting a faint beam, like the last evening sun ray. The rays pulled on a portrait of Artemis Fowls Sr. Not behind the picture, oh please. Mulch placed his ear against the picture glass. Nothing electrical. Not alarmed then, just to be sure, he sniffed the frame's edge. No plastic or copper, wood, steel, and glass, some lead in the paint. He curled a nail behind the frame and pulled. The picture came away smoothly, hinged on the side, and behind it, a safe. "It's a safe," said Foley. "I know that, you idiot. I'm trying to concentrate here. If you want to help, tell me the combination." "No problem. Oh, by the way, there's another little shot coming. Maybe the big baby would like to suck his thumb for comfort." "Foley, I'm going to—" Ow! There, that's the X-ray on. Mulch squinted at the safe. It was incredible. He could see right into the works. Tumblers and catches stood out in shadowy relief. He blew on his hairy hands and twisted the combination dial. In seconds, the safe lay open before him. "Oh," he said, disappointed. "What is it?" "Nothing, just human currency, nothing of value." "Leave it," ordered Root. "Try another room. Get going." Mulch nodded. Another room. Before his time ran out, but something was niggling at him. If the guy was so clever, why did he put the safe behind a painting? Such a cliché. Totally against form. No, something wasn't right here. They were being duped somehow. Mulch closed the safe, swinging the portrait back into the position. It swung smoothly, weightless on the hinges. Weightless. He swung the picture out again and back in. "Convict, what are you doing?" "Shut up, Julius. I mean, quiet a moment, Commander." Mulch squinted at the frame's profile. A bit thicker than normal, quite a bit thicker, even taking the box frame into account, 2 inches. He ran a nail down the heavy cartridge backing and stripped it away to reveal another safe. A smaller one, custom made, obviously. "Foley, I can't see through this." "Lead line. You're on your own, burglar boy. Do what you do best." "Typical," muttered Mulch, flattening his ear to the cold steel. He twirled the dial experimentally. Nice action. The clicks were muted by the lead. He would have to concentrate. The upside was that something this thin could have only 3 tumblers at the most. Mulch held his breath and twisted the dial 1 cog at a time. To the normal ear, even with amplification, the clicks would have seemed uniform. But to Mulch, each cog had a distinctive signature, and when a ratchet caught, it was so loud as to be deafening. 1, he breathed. "Hurry it up, convict. Your time is running out." "You interrupted to tell me that? I can see how you made Commander, Julius." "Convict, I'm going to—" But it was no use. Mulch had removed his earpiece, slipping it into his pocket. Now he could devote his full attention to the task at hand. 2. There were noise outside. In the hall, someone was coming, about the size of an elephant by the sound of it. No doubt this was the man mountain that had made mincemeat of the retrieval squad. Mulch blinked, a bead of sweat from his eye. Concentrate, concentrate. The cogs clicked by, millimeter by millimeter. Nothing was catching. The floor seemed to be hopping again, though he could be imagining it. Click, click. Come on, come on. His fingers were slick with perspiration, the dial slipping between them. Mulch wiped them on his jerkin. "Now, baby, come on, talk to me." Click, thunk. Yes! Mulch twisted the handle. Nothing. Still an obstruction. He ran a fingertip over the metal face. There, a small irregularity, a micro keyhole. Too small for your average lockpick. Time for a little trick he'd learned in prison. Quickly, though, his stomach was bubbling like stew in the oven. The footsteps were getting closer. Selecting a sturdy chin hair, Mulch fed it gently into the tiny hole. When the tip reappeared, he pulled the root from his chin. The hair immediately stiffened, straightened the shape of the lock's interior. Mulch held his breath and twisted. Smooth as a goblin's lie, the lock opened. Beautiful. At the moments like this, it was almost worth all the jail time. The kleptomaniac dwarf swung back a little door. Beautiful work, almost worthy of a fairy forge. Light as a wafer. Inside was a small chamber, and in the chamber was... "Oh my goodness," breathed Mulch. Then things came to a head rather rapidly. The shock that Mulch had experienced communicated itself to his bowels, and they decided the excess air had to go. Mulch knew the symptoms: jelly legs, bubbling cramps, wobbly behind. In the seconds remaining to him, he snatched the object from the safe and leaned over. He clasped his knees for support. The constrained wind had built itself up to mini cyclone intensity and could not be constrained, and so it exited rather abrasively, blowing up Mulch's back flap and slamming into the rather large gentleman who had been sneaking up behind him.